Hello and welcome to another Bookmas video. I cannot believe the month is nearly over because we are at the end of December almost. I wanted to talk about some of my goals for the next year. So I don't typically keep track of my goals throughout the year. I often don't really go back and look at them, but I thought maybe in 2025, even though it's going to be a really busy year, like horrifically busy, I thought maybe I would give it a go and try to see if this works out for me. If I give up in the first 3 months, then that's fine with me. Like, I'm not taking these goals too seriously, but I just thought it would be nice to have something to sort of work towards. Previously, my goals for the year, both reading and booktube wise, have been quite vague. I've not really put any like numbers or stats to them, but last year, or this year rather, it's still 2024 at the moment, I did get monetized on my blog, which wasn't something that I was aiming towards publicly, but I was kind of hoping that I would be able to join the YouTube partner program again because I got kicked out a while back for not having the correct amount of watch time. But now I'm back in and I'm like, maybe I can achieve my goals and I can do this. So I have split this video up into 3 categories. I've got reading goals, booktube goals, and life goals. None of these are overly complex, but I wanted to share them with you, and maybe you could share your goals with me in the comments down below if you would like as well, and we can have a chat. For my reading goals, my first goal is to read 10 books. I always set my Goodreads challenge to 10 because I don't like having the pressure of trying to reach 100 and then it just makes me not want to read. I do low-key hope that I'll be able to read over 100, maybe 150, but I'm not going to be upset if I don't quite reach it. I don't think that has happened since like 2016, so I'm probably all right. So I'm going to set my Goodreads challenge to 10. My second reading goal is to read something every single day, and to keep track of this, I'm probably going to do a habit tracker in one of my bullet journals. And by something, I mean like at least a page, or try to read a page. I want to intentionally like pick up a book or an ebook, or listen to an audiobook, and even just 10 minutes on audio. I'm going to count that. I want to try to read something because I do often find if I at least like attempt it, I can read a couple of pages and those pages do add up, and more often than not I will get into the book and I'll be able to read more. So I just want to give it a go, make sure I am at least trying to read something every day, even if I am tired, and then I've at least given it a go. My third goal is that I want to do my 28 books in 28 days challenge again. I typically do these in February, and at the moment February looks quite clear for me, so I'll probably try to do it in February again. I don't really want to do 30 books in 30 days or 31 books in 31 days, so I do like to do this challenge on the shortest month of the year because I don't want to overdo it. So I would like to do that again, and I need to start thinking about what kind of TBR I would like to come up with, because I normally go for like graphic novels and shorter books, but I don't really like reading novellas or short books. Yeah, we'll see what I come up with. I don't know if there are any graphic novel series that I'm particularly keen to read at the moment. I've got a few in mind, but we will see. I can think about that nearer the time. Goal number 4 kind of ties in with a booktube goal as well. I would like to continue with my 0 TBR challenge reading vlogs. I only need to post 12 of these throughout the year because I want to do one a month roughly. But for the reading side of the challenge, I don't really have a set goal of a number to hit for my TBR. I don't really mind, I just want to sort of be reading from my TBR. That's the whole point of the challenge. I don't really care about the numbers or anything, but if it goes over, I don't know, 1,000, then again, I won't mind. I mean, I won't have the space for 1,000 unread books. That doesn't bother me. I actually quite like the idea of having a massive TBR. However, I think in the back of my mind, I would like it to reduce, just because I feel like that way it's an easy way to track what I'm doing. I can always say that I want to read like 100 books from my physical TBR while still bringing in like 120 books. I'm exaggerating, but you know, I could still read books from my TBR while bringing books in, and technically that would have counted for this challenge. So yeah, maybe I need to have a better think about if I want to reduce it to a certain number, or if I just want to say I want to read a certain amount of books from my TBR. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see how I'm feeling while I'm doing my reading vlogs and how all of that is going to fit in. So I'm really excited to do those. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I always like picking from my TBR because I have such a big TBR and so many different kinds of books on there for all different like moods and seasons. I love it. So I'm looking forward to being able to vlog while I pick books off those shelves. My 5th goal is that I want to finish some series. I've put a number to this one. I've said I want to read 12 series. I tried to do this in 2024 and it didn't go amazingly as well as I had hoped. So I'd really like to focus on this in 2025, I think, because I'm really bad at finishing series, partly because I do run a website where I recap books, but I don't recap the final book in a series because to me, that's not the point of the website. The purpose of the website is to help readers who are in the middle of a series. They maybe haven't read the previous book for quite a while, there's been a big gap between releases, or they just, you know, have a bad memory. And I want to recap the books in the series for people and myself, to be honest. I use my own recaps so that we can continue with series and finish series off. So I don't recap the final book in a series, which is partly why I'm really bad at finishing them. I'm really good at starting series though. So yeah, I would like to finish 12 series in 2025. I don't know which ones yet. I don't really have any set goals for that either, but I'll have a think and maybe do a video in January talking about the series that I want to finish. Goal number 6 is, again, not something that I can really like quantify, but what I would really like to do is start exploring reading challenges again. So back in the day when I was a young blogger, book blogs would post reading challenges every year or even like monthly ones, kind of like how Booktube does the readathons today. But these challenges would last the whole year. People would actually like sign up to them. Sometimes there would be prizes and things, but everyone would be trying to aim towards a similar sort of goal. I used to host one myself. It was the debut author challenge, and I would really like to do that again this year. So the point of that challenge is obviously to read debut authors, and you could do it 2 ways. You could only focus on new debut authors for the coming year, so 2025 in this case, or you could read an author's debut book. I lean towards the first way because that makes more sense to me, and I really enjoy supporting debut authors, and that's not really something that I've done in the past couple of years. I've not really focused on that, so I'd really like to do that challenge again. And then I found a couple of other challenges that I used to take part in that are still running, which I absolutely love. That's amazing. So the first one is the A to Z or A to Z challenge if you're British. And for this one, it's kind of what it sounds like. Well, not really. I'm sure you're familiar with the concept anyway though. So you pick a book or an author that starts with the letter A, B, C, D, etc. You could also do this by author if you want to. So an author whose first or last name starts with the letter A, and work your way through the alphabet. I don't think I have ever successfully completed this challenge, so I'd really like to do that in 2025. It just sounds like something like fun to work into my reading, and probably something that I don't really need to think too much about until I get to the trickier letters. I would also really like to take part in the classics reading challenge. So I have found one on the book blog called Tea and Ink Society, and for this every month they post different prompts. I'm looking at the 2024 one right now. I don't know if they've got a post on 2025. And in January people had to read a classic that they've read before. In February they had to read a Nordic or Scandinavian classic. March was a novel with a place or house in the name or title, but all of these were around classics. And I just love that idea, so I'm going to try to take part in something like this, maybe the same challenge if the person is doing it again, because I would like to read more classic books. I do have some on my shelf, but I don't want to go too overboard, so I think like 12 is enough for me. And I don't need to take part every month, but I just like the idea of having a community and some prompts and things to encourage me. And then there's also my favourite one, which is Beat the Backlist. So this challenge is, the purpose of this one is to read the books on your backlist or on your TBR shelf, or just your TBR in general. It has to be a book that was published in the previous year, and you have to start and finish the book in the current year. So you can't have started like Les Mis 3 years ago and then finish it off now. It's a really simple challenge, but I really like taking part in it, so I'd really like to do that in 2025. I just think reading challenges could be quite fun again, and I do quite miss the community feel to them. So yeah, I would like to get involved in those, get involved in the community a little bit more, join some Discords and actually like take part in them, because I'm really bad at Discord. I keep uninstalling it from my phone and then never use it. But yeah, I thought that would be fun. And then my final reading related goal is that I want to increase my NetGalley percentage. Currently, I think it's at about 50. So I'd like to get it up to 65%. I know that doesn't seem like a huge number, but for the amount of books that I have been approved for, I will have to read quite a few books. Thankfully, a lot of those books I actually own now because they've already released. So I'll be able to read physical books, even though I sometimes get into a slight ebook reading slump. So yeah, those are my reading goals. Let me know what you think of those, and then I'll also move on to my Booktube goals. These ones are, I don't know, they're not, I wouldn't say they're more vague, I just don't really have like numbers associated with them, most of them. So my first goal is that I would like to post more reviews. I say this every single year and I never do it, but I would really like to in 2025. Not only are review videos evergreen content, so they are good for like getting your channel out there, I also just love talking about the books that I read, and I don't know why I don't post more reviews. I think it's just because it's more efficient to talk about a bunch of books in like a wrap-up video or a reading vlog instead of just an individual review. I sometimes also worry that my review videos won't be very long, and so I don't know, I feel like it's kind of pointless to post a 5-minute video, but that is not the correct attitude. I should enjoy posting review videos, and I do. So I would really like to do that more in 2025. I would also like to keep my new releases videos consistent. I almost managed this in 2024. I think I missed something like 2 months of videos, which is really frustrating, but I mean, I only have to post 12 and I can pre-record them to a certain point. So there's no reason why I can't post 12 new releases videos or one for every single month. So I've put that as a goal on here just to like keep me focused. I would like to post more reading vlogs. I'm attempting to do that this month, and At the time of recording this, I don't really know how well it's going to have gone. I hope it's gone okay. You guys can tell me in the comments below, but I'm not very good at reading vlogs. I'm trying to get into it more. I would really like to post weekly reading vlogs again, but I don't think that's very realistic just because of like time. Maybe I could do like bi-weekly ones or something. That would be quite fun. I just lose focus. It's really difficult for me to keep remembering to record. I would also like to post 6 recaps in 2025. I brought these over to my channel in 2023, I think at the end of the year, and I've posted, I think 4 recaps in that year, but I would like to increase that a little bit and post 6 in 2025. I do have some in mind. I have a recap of Gideon the Ninth that I've been working on for a while. Hopefully Electo will come out in the next year and then I can post recaps of all of the series, but I'm just going to do Gideon for now. And I'm going to do Onyx Storm when that comes out, so that's 2 already. And then I've got a few more in mind as well. I really enjoy doing them. I think they're so much fun and you guys seem to like them as well, so I'd like to post more recaps. And then goal number 5 is that I want to get back up to doing 2 videos a week by April. So the beginning of the year for me is going to be quite busy. I've got a big holiday coming up, so I'm going to be out for half of January and then I'm going to be catching up with work stuff. And then there's a big project going on at work at the beginning of the year, so that's going to take up some of my time. And then I also want to do my 28 books in 28 days challenge. So I would really like to be able to be posting 2 videos a week by April again and keep that up consistently. I'm giving myself obviously some buffer there by not starting that in January, but I do really hope that I can manage it. And then finally, I've got 3 life goals. These ones aren't very long and I don't know how interested you guys are in my life goals, but here they are. So the first one is that I need to go wild with my saving. As you're watching this, I'm getting ready to go on holiday to Australia. That's costing a lot of money and we've got the savings for that already, but in 6 months time, 6 months, we're having our big wedding party. And that's very, very expensive. So I need to save like crazy for that. And then a few months after that, I'm going to my friend's wedding in Italy. So yeah, lots of saving needs to be done. So I'm going to really try not to buy too many books. That shouldn't be too difficult, to be honest, and just be more cautious with my savings so that I can have a stress-free year. I don't really need to think about money in that way. And then hopefully after that, I will be free and we'll be free to spend money on the things that we want to, and we'll be able to like do up the house and stuff like we want to, but that won't be until the following year. And speaking of holidays and weddings, I've got 3 weddings to go to in the next year. We've got one in Australia, we've got our wedding party in July, and then we've got my friend's wedding in Italy. My only goal there is to attend all 3 and have an absolutely lovely time. I thought I would put that on here because that's really mushy and adorable, and I just hope the weddings all go well and everyone attending has a really good time, and obviously the brides and grooms have an amazing time as well. So yeah, once I've been to those 3, I can tick that off, and then hopefully I won't have any more weddings for a while, because even as a guest, apparently they're expensive to go to when your friends have destination weddings or when your friends live halfway across the world. And then goal number 3 is probably my most specific life one. I would like to run a half marathon, and I don't know how realistic that is. I'm currently running over 10 kilometers, but I'm nowhere near a half marathon, but I would really like to try and do that in 2025. I think it's a nice goal. While I don't think I'll ever run a full marathon, can't see myself ever doing that anyway, a half marathon at least seems achievable and not like a absolutely wild idea. So I'd like to try and do that in 2025. Kind of relating to that, I said that was my last life goal, but I'm adding another one. I would really like to keep my fitness up in 2025. So I currently go to boot camp a couple of times a week, classes as well. Boot camp classes, they do add up, but I do notice when I don't go to them, and I find them so worthwhile for both my physical and my mental health, so I'd like to keep that up in 2025. And with that, those are all of my goals. I really hope that I can achieve them. I'm thinking about maybe addressing them in each of my monthly wrap-ups, so that I can like keep checking in with you guys, but also like hold myself accountable. And if I have to tell you that my TBR has gone up by like 300 books, then so be it. At least then you guys are in the know. Let me know what you think of these goals. Tell me in the comments below what your goals are for 2025, and I will speak to you all in the next video. Bye!